Hello there. Don't fall for it. The French government never agrees anything with the UK unless there's a catch in it somewhere. Many people are applauding the change of tactics from the French police now that their lawmakers have changed the law to allow the police to get out into the shallow coastal waters and slash the rubber boats, so preventing them making their extremely hazardous and overloaded journey across the English Channel. With those who are fed up to the back teeth of these activities that cost the UK so much dosh where hotels, housing, translation services and all the rest of it is concerned, saying that it's about time and asking why has it taken so long to get to this point. But remember, President Macron is due in the UK soon on a state visit and, if I remember rightly, will be sharing the royal coach with his Madge. And in truth, this slashing of the rubber dinghies is something that could have been started years ago. So you do have to ask yourself, why now? Well, as you may or may not know, the UK and France are cooking up an idea where every single migrant that appears illegally on our shores, on a rubber boat or whatever, will be shipped back to France. Woohoo, I hear everyone cry out. No more illegals coming across the channel in dinghies, yachts, fishing vessels or canoes or whatever else they can lay their hands on. Job done. Well, not quite. Because this little plot then requires the UK to accept a migrant from France for everyone we send back. Yes, one illegal migrant returned to France, but one legal migrant received from France in return. Yes, a migrant legally allowed into the UK and welcomed by the UK government. Whether by road, rail, ferry or by air, they will enter the UK illegally to claim asylum. A full legal route of entry. In fact, will they even have to claim asylum? And muddying the waters where refugees, asylum seekers, illegal migrants and legal migrants are concerned is a tactic used by the open borders mob. So the potential newcomers will just queue up and wait their turn. Hundreds would be returned to France every day, so there may not be too long for them to wait. Now, I said there was a catch in this, but that's not it. Because once the message gets through to those who fund these channel rubber boat dinghy trips, either the passengers themselves or gangmasters and drug barons in the UK, when they realise that no one is going to get to stay in the UK, then no one's going to buy those places on those boats. Business will dry up very quickly. Hardly anyone will try it on, and the fewer there are, the easier it will be to deal with them and get them on a ferry back to France. But the problem then is that France is stuck with them. Because if there's no one getting off a rubber boat on the beaches of the UK or being picked up in the Channel by Border Force or the RNLI to be sent back to France, then how can France send us any in return on a one out, one in type of deal? That will upset President Macron. He will not want to be left with them, will he? He wants to foist them onto us. Now, if I can work that rather simple scenario out, then so can the French and the British too. Why would France agree to take the pain here? Do they really think that migrants will stop entering France just because they can no longer get to the UK? True, the potential newcomers might not hang around the French Channel port areas in such great numbers, but they won't totally disperse. In fact, why would the French even consider accepting the illegal Channel migrants back into their country anyway? Why aren't they saying, in what seems to be their normal policy on these migrant boats, that they'll do what they can at their end, but once out in the Channel it's a UK problem and therefore it's up to us. So what are they up to? Why are they suddenly playing ball? Now, a quick interjection, please like, subscribe and comment below and become a channel member to get extra content like this for less than the price of a pint in a London pub per month by clicking on the join button or following the link in the descriptions box below on a laptop or desktop computer. So what is Macron up to here? Can it really be true that our highly charismatic Prime Minister Keir Starmer has won the French president over? Or maybe it was that other person of influence, our Grand Foreign Secretary David Lammy? Or did Macron just take pity on the UK because of the tears of Rachel Reeves? Or maybe his wife, convinced him it was time to be nice to Brexit Britain? Or has Macron himself suddenly realised that being an Anglophile isn't such a bad thing? Somehow, for some reason, I doubt any of that. Foreign policy and relations and diplomacy are usually very hard-nosed, but couched in soft words. And remember that anything France does will have to dovetail in with European Union law. And that's the bit that concerns me, as you could no doubt guess. And we all know that Keir Starmer, and just about his whole team, well, let's be honest, his whole team, would much rather that the UK was fully dovetailed into EU law once more. We all know that. So I have this growing suspicion that Macron is being nice to us while they try to get the UK stitched into the EU's new migration system, where every member state has to take in a set number, 20,000 I think it is, of non-EU migrants every year, or be given a hefty fine for every single one they do not take. Now, if France and the EU can get us roped into that by the back door, then the UK will be taking 20,000 or whatever number they agree to regularly every year. So taking back the ones that still chance their arm in a rubber boat won't be any great shakes. No more rubber boats, no more nasty stories about rubber boat numbers for Keir Starmer to wake up to. And he's got another step closer to the EU. All he has to do is a bit of gaslighting salesman type stuff on us to convince us that taking the same or probably more people from the EU, not just France, is a better solution than the rubber boats. The trouble is that we'll still have to house them. But woke lefties don't care about that sort of thing. As far as they're concerned, you just have to open another box of taxpayers or visit the magic money tree in the number 11 Downing Street garden. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below, and a big shout out to our members and Patreon supporters, and thank you for watching.